Hey, I am just in my kitchen heating up supper, and I wanted to talk about something. There is this one thing that people don't like to do. It's like you want to do it and you like the thought of it, but a lot of times you just won't do it for various reasons. So, if you're a mom, have you ever thought, like, I need a day off from my kids? Like, I need a break. Raise your hand if you have ever felt like you needed a break from mom life, because mom life is all encompassing. It never stops. It's 24 hours a day. It's always something new. But at the same time, while it's always something new, there's like always new challenges and new joys. It is a lot of like mundane and the same things over and over again. It's training your child the same things over and over again. And then if you have like 5 kids, multiply that times 5. And it's new challenges and new joys, but then it's a lot of the same thing. It's a lot of dishwashing and diaper changing and laundry and cleaning and repeat. But if you're a guy, you're in the workforce, and have you ever felt the need for a day off, but you didn't feel like you could work it into your schedule? We have this, there's this like mentality of like, here's the stuff that are important and here's the leftovers. So with money, sometimes we'll be like, here's like the money that I spend on stuff, and I love it when I have some leftovers. Too often we're trying to use the leftovers to build something important instead of prioritizing that. And we do the same thing with our time. Oftentimes we have like these things over here that contain like, that's like our block of time. And then we try to fit everything else into this like little spot if we have extra time, if we have leftover time. Can I challenge the leftovers mentality? Do you eat leftovers every night? We are actually eating leftovers tonight. We're having baked potatoes that are left over. We have some broccoli that I steamed up yesterday intentionally to have for supper tonight. And we have meatloaf that I cooked up and put in the fridge for tonight. That way we just had to reheat supper. But do I have leftovers every night for supper? Do I have them every day? No. Why? Because I intentionally cook our food. Don't you want to do the same thing with your time? Don't you want to be intentional about the most important things and use the leftovers for things that don't really matter? One of those things is we need to step out of our normal. Our brains begin to get really sluggish when we do the same things over and over and over again, especially if we do not have a reward system in place. That is a big thing. We need those reward systems in place. Hey, Marty, just a minute.
Can we have gum?
No gum right now. I'll let you in a minute. Sorry. Anyway, so he's been asking for gum like so much today. So anyway, especially if we don't have these reward systems in place, then we begin to get it feels like more and more like drudgery. And then one bad thing happens and we're just like, I just need a day off, because we're saving the day off for leftovers. We're expecting leftovers. And I'm sorry, with time and with money, usually there aren't many leftovers. Like, if we're just going to be real and honest, there's not a lot of leftovers. So why would you hold off on something so important, and you would wait for leftovers to meet that need? That's going to look different for everybody. You were probably expecting me to narrow it down to one thing. Unfortunately, that's not the case. Everybody's going to have a different reason. We're so used to people teaching us things and telling us what to do and mentoring us. And that's great, and there's value in that. But a different approach is to actually begin to ask yourself questions and do what I do. Like as a coach, I get to the root of why you're doing what you're doing, because we might all be doing the same thing, but we all have very different reasons of why we're doing it, and we're going about it very differently.
So to just do a blanket statement of like, you don't take time off because it makes you feel guilty, mom guilt. Well, that might be for somebody, but that might not be for all of us. So if you're a stay-at-home mom and you are wanting a day off, but you feel like you can't or you shouldn't, it could be guilt. It could be you don't want to spend the money to hire like a babysitter. It's because you don't feel like you should ask your husband, or you don't want to ask your in-laws. You don't want to ask your parents to watch the kids so you can have that day off. It might be because really deep down you don't feel like you deserve a day off. It might be because you don't feel worthy of a day off. It might be because you don't want to spend money on what you would actually do on the day off, like go out and have, lunch or coffee or something. And it could be a whole host of things. It could be that you don't even feel like it's a possibility for you, that you don't have an option to have a day off. That's usually the biggest one, is you don't think that's an option. But there's a deep reason why you just go, that's not an option. That's not an option. That's not an option. There's a very deep reason why you're doing that. And it's important to get to the root of that. You're probably 99% sure you're not going to change your behavior until you get to the root of what's driving that behavior, or you get to the root of why you're not moving toward that goal, or you're not implementing that thing. Do you see? So just realize you're not taking a day off because you don't have options. That's one of the number one things I do as a coach, is help people realize that they have options. And I like dig through their life and help them find options. You don't think you have money for this? You don't think you have time for this? You don't think this is possible? Let's look at your life and see if it is. And seriously, it's like always possible. Always. But our brain just isn't always aware of our options. And will sometimes ignore a whole lot of options if you don't feel worthy, if you feel guilty, if you feel this. So anyway, that's my tip of the day, is just realize you're not taking a day off because you don't have the option to. It's because you have a mindset that's preventing it. So that's my tip of the day. I'm going to get off of here and get everything ready so everyone can have supper. I hope you're having a great day and enjoying the beautiful fall weather. Maybe I should turn my camera around and show you guys. I'm going to show you out the window. It's never as beautiful like on camera as it is in person, but this is the backyard. And that makes me really happy. It is so beautiful, and I'm loving this beautiful fall color. So anyway, have a great night.